Happy Election Day, Rebels. It's the day we've all been waiting for.
On today's show, we have election updates and a word from a political analyst. Don't go anywhere. Studio G starts right now.
Welcome back to Studio G, news made for the Rebel in You. I'm Brianna Favriger.
And I'm Jessica Corona.
Last weekend, local restaurant DW Bistro held a voting rally. Many people were in attendance. Among those were Susie Lee and the one and only Cher.
I just want you to, go to www.iwillvote.com. If you don't vote, you'll have nothing. You cannot build anything unless you build it on the truth. I understand what people are going through, and I want people to have better.
Today is the day. Please go out and make your voice heard.
There are only hours away until the voting polls close. Triana Gondo has more on a virtual rally over the weekend by a former presidential nominee.
Back in April, former Democratic Party nominee Bernie Sanders suspended his campaign from the 2020 presidential election. However, this didn't stop his advocacy for this year's election. On November 1st, the Vermont senator held a virtual Get Out the Vote rally over Zoom, encouraging Nevadans who have yet to vote to get out to the finish line of Election Day.
This is the most important election in our lifetimes. Nevada is a battleground state, meaning that Biden can win, Trump can win, and the election may be decided by a handful of votes. So every vote counts. Our job right now in the next 2 days is to do every single thing that we can to make sure that everybody we know votes. Yes, we've got to get out and vote, but we have to bring our friends and our co-workers and fellow students and neighbors out to vote with us.
With Nevada being a swing state, every vote counts. Issues concerning Nevada include pay for workers, affordable housing, higher education, healthcare, climate change, and much more. Early voting in Clark County wrapped up on October 30th. According to the Nevada Secretary of State, over 1 million Nevadans have already cast their vote. We can only expect that number to go up from here.
So in this moment in American history, which is an unprecedented moment, really is, they're going to be writing about this in history books 50 years from now. This moment, you can be part of history right now.
It's not too late to cast your ballot if you haven't done so already. Make an impact and vote. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Triana Gondo.
Encourage your friends and family to get to the finish line and vote. If you have yet to cast your vote in person, polls close tonight at 7 p.m. Now let's send it over to Brianna for today's weather.
Good afternoon. I'm Brianna Favriger with your weather update for today. This morning we were looking at 75 degrees, visibility was at 10, wind speeds at 3 miles per hour, and humidity is sitting at 20% today. Moving on to this afternoon, 81 is your current temperature for right now. The high is normally supposed to be at 84 degrees. It is a little bit of sunny today with a little bit of clouds. For this tonight, it's going to be 61 degrees, clear skies, light wind, 3 miles per hour. And around the valley, Centennial and Summerlin are both 77 degrees, Southern Highlands at 79 degrees, North Las Vegas and the Valley are 81 degrees, Green Valley, Henderson, and Nellis are all at 79 degrees, with Boulder City at 81 degrees. Moving on for your 5-day forecast. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are all sunny. Wednesday is going to be 86 for your high, 61 for your low. Thursday, 84 for your high, 61 for your low. Friday, 84 for your high, 52 for your low. Saturday and Sunday temperatures are going to drop. Saturday is 59 degrees, 43 for your low. Sunday is 54 for your high and 41 for your low. So be sure to enjoy those last 3 days of really good weather because temperatures are getting colder out. Throwing it over back to Jessica at the desk.
The United States is known being a two-party system, but many of the other parties are overlooked. Marlene Sarkisian has more.
The United States is known for being a two-party system where most people vote for the lesser of two evils. It leaves many Americans wondering if there are any other options out there that fit exactly what they're looking for. One option is Howie Hawkins, the nominee from the Green Party for the 2020 presidential election. Hawkins prides himself on the idea that he appeals to many Americans. So, what's his campaign really about?
And that's what this campaign is all about. People and their futures. A green future, where we can leave a planet to our kids and grandkids that is habitable. To reform our broken and racist criminal justice system and fight for justice and accountability. Medicare for all, legalizing marijuana, reforming our tax code so the wealthy pay their fair share, making college education accessible for all. We will fight for progressive reforms. The need for change cannot be understated. Now is the time to unite behind a people first agenda. With the two major party candidates bought and paid for by Wall Street, our campaign will deliver. This campaign is powered by the grassroots. Our campaign will gladly carry the mantle of the working class that Joe Biden and the Democrats have just tossed aside. Our campaign will fight against the fear and the hatred that Donald Trump's campaign represents. We hear you. Thank you.
Hawkins is aware that he won't win 2020. He hopes that his campaign has done enough to where people in the 2024 election will be more selective when casting their votes. He wants to see the two-party system broken because he believes that the American people deserve more choices for who runs their country. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Marlene Sarkisian.
With less than 1% of the votes, Howie Hawkins will not win the 2020 presidential election. But it is important to educate yourself on the different parties.
There is no doubt about the top priority on these elections is know who would be the best candidate to bring the economy back on track. Studio G reporter Ramon Elizondo interviewed political analyst Sandra Cosgrove. Let's hear what she has to say.
Hello, my name is Ramon Elizondo, and I am student at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And with me today, I have Professor Sandra Cosgrove. Did I say that right?
You said it right. Thank you.
Okay, Sandra Cosgrove. She is the president of League of Women Voters of Nevada and also a professor of history at College of Southern Nevada. Welcome to Studio G.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
Sandra, you and I know that we are just about choosing a new president in the United States. And there is a lot of going on right now with this political atmosphere, you know, a lot of tension in the past weeks. So I want to bring some issues, and I'm going to try to be very briefly because, like I said, I don't have enough time for this interview, okay? One of my first questions or my issues is, who do you think is the best candidate to move the economy forward in the next, let's say, 4 years? Considering this, Trump tax cut that was 36, from 35% to 21% to corporate, from 39% to 37% to individuals like you and me. So we already know that this tax reform benefits the wealthiest, okay? However, I am first witness that the Trump tax cut bring jobs, because in my former employer bought new machines. And so he brought people to work. So Trump created jobs. However, at what salary? Because if you're not making $15 an hour at least, you live in the poor, okay? And up to this point, I have never received any raise salary from any of my employers. I know some people did, but those people are from another group. So basically, yeah, put people to work, but they still struggle in this economy. So anyways, also consider the Obama-Biden administration, they did save the auto industry. They saved it. When Donald Trump took office, the unemployment rate was 4.7%. And then after Trump, it went down to 3.5%. So yes, the economy was doing better for Trump. So anyways, after the coronavirus pandemic, we see a lot of issues. The economy went down. So who is the best candidate to take the office for the next 4 years, according to you?
So this is an interesting question, because if it wasn't for the virus, and so if it wasn't for the pandemic, you and I could probably sit and, just like you did, talk about statistics and which companies invested in machinery, which companies have done more hiring, whether the wages have gone up. And we could be able to say, okay, is the president just going to stay with that plan, or is he going to adjust? And what's Joe Biden's plan on that? But unfortunately, we have those issues kind of cocooned away because of the virus. And so the virus has completely upended our whole economy. And we're looking at probably until next July till we can get back to any type of semblance of normalcy. So we need to really be asking two things. Not only, what will the new president do as far as regular economics, which we can talk about, trickle down economics and whether that actually gets to the worker, but which of the candidates is going to be able to navigate, having millions of people unemployed because of the virus. And I'm seeing a lot of industry out there that's doing what you and I are doing right now. We couldn't be in person for a couple of reasons, and so we used technology and we figured a way around it. So I think what we're going to see is more and more employers, maybe they'll use some of the money from the tax cuts, trying to be more virtual, trying to provide services as opposed to a product for a while. But we're going to need a president that's going to be able to not, take a hatchet and kind of hatch it around in the economy, but literally almost a butter knife, trying to figure out how we get from here to maybe next July, when hopefully we have a vaccine, and then we get the economy up and running again. So which person, seems to have a better temperament from that? I would tend to go more towards Joe Biden. But as you said, before the pandemic hit, there was a lot of the economic policies Trump had put into place were creating jobs, unemployment had gone down. And so we're in kind of a weird space this election cycle.
Correct. Professor Sandra, thank you for your comment, your thoughts.
Okay, thank you very much. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
So make sure you cast your vote. Voting polls close tonight at 7.
As if we don't have a lot going on today, COVID cases are spiking once again. Reporter Jessica has more.
Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden spent the last few days traveling throughout America before Election Day.
A vote for me and the Republican Party is a vote for the American dream.
The only thing that can tear America apart is America itself. And that's exactly what Trump's been trying to do.
The race between them and COVID cases are both on the rise.
Well, first off, we haven't beaten it. I think let's all agree on that. I think we have to, all of us need to wear a mask. We need to social distance.
According to Google News, since the beginning of the year, there has been over 9.2 million confirmed COVID cases and over 230,000 deaths.
We're going to see not just the cases continue to escalate, but we're going to see perhaps 2,000 deaths per day 2 or 3 weeks from now.
As an American citizen, it is our duty to vote for a better future. President Donald Trump has threatened to fire Dr. Fauci after the elections as the nation sees an alarming outbreak of the virus since the spring.
Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election.
We're going to act to get COVID under control. It's almost criminal the way he has handled it.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Jessica Corona.
Make Make sure to still wear your mask and social distance tonight at the polls. Be smart, safe, and healthy.
If you need a ride to go vote, pay close attention because Daniel Avila will tell you an easy, free option that might be helpful today.
If you're waiting until the election day to cast your ballot and you need a ride, you have a few options that are easy and free. Lyft has partnered with the nonprofit Vote Latino to make sure everyone can make it to the polls today. Riders that use the promo code VLF2020 will get a $25 credit towards any ride to a polling location or drop box. However, rides through the high-end Lyft Lux are not part of the deal. Hertz is also offering a freebie for voters through its new Drive the Vote program. Yesterday and today, anyone who rents a car for 2 or more days from the Hertz neighborhood location will get one of those days free. Reporting for Studio G, this is Daniel Avila.
You know, just download the Lyft app and make sure to use the promo code VLF2020. Nearly 100 million people have already cast their... What are we doing?
Hello everyone. Today is a very important day in this beautiful country, the United States of America, election night. And so everybody's talking about Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden. But we also need to focus on congressional districts and senators. So let's talk about that. Okay, the current Senate is controlled by Republicans, okay? This number right here, those are the seats that stay. They don't go anywhere. These numbers right here are up for election. So the Republican Party needs to focus on this number. They have 23 versus 12. So let's just say 12 from this number and 6 from this number takes 18. Plus 30, 48. They will not be able to make it 50, half. So they need to push it up a little bit if they want to keep the Senate. On the Democrat side, they have better chances to win the Senate because if we do the same, 18 plus 33, they get this number. So Republicans, they need to push it out a little more. So let's talk about House races. Now, all 435 are up for election. Democrats control the House, 232, right? So if we do the same as the Senate, if we divide all these numbers, half of these, on both political parties, they will win this number minus 1, 217. So that means that the House needs to be worked on both sides equally. So if you work today, don't go to work, go to vote. If you have a date with your fiancé, forget about your fiancé and go to vote. Okay? That's all I have for now, and I will toss it back to Bree.
Nearly 100 million people have already cast their vote. These Studio G reporters have been exercising their right. Have you?
Studio G. So the reason that I vote is to make my voice heard within my country. I think one thing that my generation lacks is a voice in this country, and I feel voting is the best way to get it.
So I am voting in this upcoming election because I'm finally old enough to do so. The last presidential election, I was only 16, and now that I am of age, I am going out there to exercise my right to vote, and I encourage everyone to do so as well.
I am voting in the 2020 election because I think it's important to exercise your right to vote. I don't think that change can be made unless people enact that change.
Well, I actually can't vote, but I'm pushing my family to do so we as Latinos can be heard.
I was given the privilege to vote, therefore anytime, even if it's state, national, I'm always going to take the advantage to use my voice because minorities were never given that voice, and since I'm in that group, I will always go out and vote and let my voice be heard.
Please vote. If you don't vote, you let other people decide for you. This is your future. This is your voice. Coming November 3rd, please vote.
Check out nvsos.gov to verify that your mail-in ballot was received and counted. Again, voting polls close tonight at 7 p.m. Go out there and make your voice heard.
That's all the time we have for today. Tune in tomorrow at noon for more Studio G. The election polls close tonight at 7, so make sure to go cast your vote. I'm Jessica Corona.
And I'm Brianna Favger. Thank you for watching.